but it's good. And I think if we have that permission to put ourselves first and get the rest that we need, then we're just going to be able to provide more to everything that means more to us, and that where we're making a difference in the world, right? Because you have gifts that you need to be giving out to the world. You're this light that needs to shine out in what, let's admit, is a dark world right now. Welcome to Press Pause. On today's episode, we're going to talk about fatigue. What are you doing?
That's what Steph Curry does after a basketball or towards the end of a game when he makes a shot that he knows has just finished off the other team. He's just like, night, game over.
It's all done. How come it's so hard as high-achieving entrepreneurs to say all done and to actually put ourselves to bed, put ourselves to rest?
Toddlers do it.
That's right. I mean, you'll see them sometimes in the middle of the floor.
Right.
With their big butt in the air, they'll just go to sleep.
Yeah.
Your dog does it okay.
Yeah. Good old days.
Teenagers sleep in for a really long time. But we have such a hard time as adults, and especially as a high-achieving leader, there always seems to be more to do. And the problem with it is the fatigue. And guys, we talk to so many people today, people are tired. With everything that's going on, the state of the world, the way that it's in right now, there is just a lot of fatigue, and we have to stop ignoring it. Stop ignoring the fatigue. Know that the fatigue you're feeling, if you're feeling it today as you're listening, is that your fatigue is real. Your overwhelm is real. Your exhaustion is real, and you must stop ignoring it.
So stop ignoring the fatigue. And I think that's somewhat of an American thing. You know, a lot of the other countries, they do a little bit better job of taking time off from work, slowing down, having a siesta in the middle of the day, whatever it might be, where we have this burden and this responsibility that seems to just go on 24/7.
Mm-hmm. I think we have to just say it again. I know you've heard it from me a lot, but rest is productive, and we just have to change our whole mindset around it and realize that the world and society's view of it, especially in the US, as you say, is we're on this treadmill. We feel like we just have to keep going and going and going and taking on more and more. And that is a lie. And we have to give ourselves permission to stop, to take the break and realize that no one else is going to do that for us.
Right.
The world, the society is just going to say, keep pushing.
Well, I think just take as athletes, for instance. You know, you have fatigue as an athlete. If you play back-to-back games or you run too many miles over and over and over again, then that's when the injuries occur. You have a knee injury, you have a foot injury, you get something going wrong. And so that's a great example of why we should do that as entrepreneurs, not just athletes.
Mm-hmm. It's so important. And giving yourself permission and realizing that it's okay. And can't we challenge them today to just say, flip it on its head? I mean, instead of this drive to just keep working and feeling only proud of yourself when you're working and putting in all of that effort toward your work and your business. And granted, we all have a higher purpose, and that is the work that we do, the ministry that we do, and it's wonderful for other people. But turning that on its head and looking at the fact that taking a break, taking time for rest, for active rest, is actually what we should be proud of. Couldn't we flip it on its head and say, you know what? I took the entire weekend off, and I didn't check in with work. I didn't do any business reading. I didn't do anything to move me forward in my business, but I actually enjoyed doing nothing.
That's hard for me.
It is
really hard.
It is hard.
I make things up. I go find something to do.
Right.
So,
right.
But I think if we looked at it as work in our normal job, and then also the volunteering, the boards, the extra activities that we do, we start piling them all on. Mm-hmm. Get rid of some of those.
Right.
Just enough of our energy needs to be focused on our work and making sure we're successful there. If we carve off some of the other things that are taking that energy and making us tired and making us overwhelmed, then it gives you more time and energy for what you should be doing and what you're called to, whether that's a ministry or work.
Right.
So,
Right.
I mean, volunteering is great, but there needs to be a limit. There needs to be boundaries put up.
Well, I think there's so many good things to be a part of, right? And so we certainly want to be a part of that, but it's knowing that balance. And we were at church the other day with some friends, and we were talking about this workout class with my girlfriend, and the fact that she made the decision to not go to the class on Friday. And she actually said, and I was really proud of it because it made me think. She actually said, you know what? I just decided that my body didn't need to go to that workout today, that my body needed rest. And I ended up staying in bed and reading and just relaxing until noon.
Wow.
And that was,
time.
and
Good
that,
for her.
I just thought, you know what? That's amazing.
Yeah.
And most people wouldn't dare say that. I mean, think of one of your colleagues or your friends. Do they say that they have laid in bed and read the newspaper? And I mean, doesn't that sound just luxurious? But do we do that? That kind of thing. And I just thought that was so amazing because instead, we like to talk about how busy we are.
Right.
We like to talk about, oh my goodness, I'm putting in so many hours right now. I can't keep up. And my kids are in this and my kids are in that. And somehow that just, we feel proud of that.
It's a badge of honor. Yeah, and the word busy is just, it's overused right now.
Right.
And it's everybody, oh, I'm busy. It's like, well, then stop. Just stop being busy.
Right.
Figure out what it is that you can control. Some of it you can't, but what is it that you can control and stop doing it?
You are in charge of your own energy. And if that is the case, then you're the only one that can really make those decisions for yourself of what is too much, what is not enough, and what is just right, and making those decisions to be able to help you stop this drive for fatigue, which, like you said, I think is a badge of honor. So it's really being willing to do that and being willing to not talk about how busy you are and actually, again, flip it on its head and decide how you can be unbusy and be productive, resting, and be proud of that piece and not feel like you have to say yes to go out to this event and that it's okay to have a stay-at-home weekend.
Stay in bed till noon if you want.
I know.
That's great.
I know.
I'm going to try that tomorrow. You have to bring me coffee.
I just might do that.
Yeah, right.
Do that.
I drowned.
But I think we've got to go back to the fact that it's just so hard to do. But if you keep ignoring how you're feeling, if you keep ignoring this fatigue, if you are overrun with fatigue, if you truly are so tired that you feel like you can't remember things, that you feel like you're not as sharp as you normally are, and you feel like you're dragging through your day, if you don't have that energy, that's not the way that you're supposed to live. You don't need to live overwhelmed and live in this state of fatigue, but it's up to you to make sure that you're doing that. Because like you said, if you continue on this path, look at what's going to happen. And I think it's far more than the injury that you're talking about. We can talk about a whole life change if you find yourself from fatigue to a complete burnout. And that is really hard to come back from.
Well, and some people don't.
Some
carry it to the
people
extreme.
don't. And
So,
some people don't. Right.
Yeah, you have to be really careful. And if we put it upside down, like you said, put rest time down first on your calendar.
I like it. Yeah.
Then put some sleep, or maybe those are the same thing. Then put your family, then put work. And if there's any time left, put in the volunteering, put in the boards, put in the extracurricular activities, put in all of those things, but sprinkle those in later. So that would be an upside down.
Right. That's upside down for sure. Yeah, but it's good. And I think if we have that permission to put ourselves first and get the rest that we need, then we're just going to be able to provide more to everything that means more to us, and that where we're making a difference in the world, right? Because You have gifts that you need to be giving out to the world. You're this light that needs to shine out in what, let's admit, is a dark world right now. But you can't do that if you're succumbing to this fatigue. And if you're going to be like everybody else out there and just keep working yourself to a point of exhaustion. So today, we want to challenge you.
Okay.
And we want to say that it's time to realize how real your fatigue is and to not ignore it anymore. To say that it's okay to take a break and to actually make steps and commit to doing it. And not just right now, but making it a regular part of your day, a regular part of your life. And it's going to make such a difference for you.
So stop and recognize your fatigue.
And stop ignoring it and take better care of yourself, my friend. It's time to get the rest that you need. Stop that fatigue.